Hey, good morning to everybody. It's Daryl here. It's coming up on 7 a.m. in Connecticut here on the East Coast. It's a lot colder. It's down, the wind chill's down to 15 degrees, I believe, here, but it could be worse, and it has been. All right, what I want to talk about is guilty behavior, the way guilty people act. When I was an addict, let's say a policeman wants to search my car or search, you guys have probably watched Cops or some of these other cop shows. If a policeman wanted to search your car, now there's some people that might be put out by this, but in general, I think most people wouldn't mind if a officer presented a legitimate concern that there was something dangerous in your car. It would take a few minutes. I wouldn't have a problem. Back when I was using here, my point is I would have a big problem with it. I would start spouting off about my privacy and why are you harassing me? And what, and I would use a lot of other things to try to distract, to change the subject. Let's talk about, say getting a urine sample. Like I talked about in another video, I would have no problem giving a urine sample these days. I'd give one every day, any day. It's 10 seconds of my day. But I think people that are using would have a big problem with that. They would start, spouting off that because they know it's the end of the line for them. They'll get caught. They'd start spouting off about their privacy and, you're just picking on me and, a variety of reasons. And again, usually distraction comes into play. They start bringing up other topics and trying to change the subject. Why I talk about this is, again, it's coming up on 4 years later, and we still have not seen Donald Trump's taxes. Now, I'm pretty sure, I can't be positive, but I'm pretty sure almost every president in our history, 44 other presidents, there might have been a few, I don't know, but almost all of them show their taxes. Why? Because they have nothing to hide. It's really, for a president, it's part of the process. Showing where you're at financially, because it is important. It could play into possible corruption, questionable business dealings. It's a very, to me, I think it's a very valid document for somebody you're going to elect head of the country to just show their income, their basic financial dealings for the last, for the last 10 years or whatever. I mean, we all have to present, we have to present our taxes to the IRS. I know, and Donald Trump presents his supposedly to the IRS, but my point here is he's acting like a guilty person acts, if there was nothing wrong with his taxes, if he had nothing to hide, nothing to fear, why he would show his taxes? Anybody would. Why wouldn't you? And Trump supporters, I'm sure, are going to say, well, he's just a maverick. He's rebellious. He's this or that. And again, that goes back to my days as an addict. Those are all just excuses. Those are all just reasons to change the subject, to distract. They're petty reasons. It's nonsense. It is. It's how guilty people act. It's very frustrating that he's running for a second term, and God forbid he wins. I'd be willing to bet money that he still won't show. He'll never show unless he's forced to show his taxes. And like I said, my point here is innocent people with nothing to fear, don't act that way. They don't. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck, and he's acting like a guilty person with something to fear. And it makes me wonder, and a lot of people like me wonder what that is. It could be a variety of things, but if he's holding out like he is, I'm willing to bet that it's something significant. And knowing him, and look at this whole Ukrainian thing, I have no doubts. Personally, I would guess it has to do with Russia and I think a lot of I think it'd be obvious that there was a lot of lying. His claims of not having any business dealings with Russia, I think that would be thrown right out the window if he presented his taxes, and probably a lot worse than that. But I don't want to speculate. My point of the video is innocent people with nothing to fear, would have no problem presenting their taxes, none at all. It'd be just do it, be a done deal, move on. Somebody that has something to fear, that is guilty, would make arguments, any arguments, privacy, my privacy. People are trying to crucify me. It's a variety of arguments, and like I said, to me it reminds me so much of the days when I was an addict, and I was guilty. I was guilty as sin. And that's the stuff I would do. I would argue and argue, any reason, any distraction to stop from being caught dead to rights. And that's what Trump is doing. Like I said, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Trump's a duck. How Trump supporters can be okay with all this stuff. Again, I have no idea. All right. You guys have a good Saturday.